Oki, Dadanistata, Ambawastich, Tansei, and good morning, everyone. Today I'm joined by Chief Operating Officer Stuart Dalgleish. The work is well underway to repair the 5 hotspots that were identified in the feeder main that runs below Montgomery. By yesterday, those sections of pipe were uncovered and work was started to cut out the sections that were identified as hotspots. Now remember, these hotspots are not leaks. They are places along this portion of the feeder main that is closed off where robotic inspection told us that tension wires on the outside were losing their strength. It makes sense to get these repairs done now while the pipe is free of water so we can have a strengthened system moving forward. For these hotspot repairs, we have all of the pipe pieces that we need in the city. 3 are ready to go, and 2 are being sandblasted and coated with epoxy. All 5 will have custom connectors to attach them to the existing feeder main that is in the ground. That's just one step in the few that we have left. Other phases include backfilling the work that's being done and repaving 16th Avenue. Then there will be a flushing of the line and water testing to ensure that it's safe for you to drink. And we rely on Alberta Health Services to give us the all clear in that regard. Once that's complete, we can return to normal water flow. And why am I repeating all of these phases of work to you? Because it provides you with a very important picture of how much work remains to get us back to full flow with full access to the Bearspaw treatment plant and to get water into the feeder main to flow into our homes and businesses. The timeline for completion will come into sharper and sharper focus as this repair work continues. Yesterday, Manager Michael Thompson say that we are closer to 3 weeks than 5 weeks that had been estimated. This is a best case estimate at this particular point in time, and it means that work could be done as soon as July 5th, which is exactly 3 weeks since we discovered and reported that there were 5 hotspots that needed to be addressed. I know the teams are working as quickly and as safely as possible to if crews can get the taps back on in full flow by the beginning of July, that's going to be some great news for all of us. Still, I need to caution that we have to be prepared that a potential site may require a bit more repair than we had expected, or that water testing is going to take a little bit more time. I want you all to be prepared for these changes to the schedule as we continue to learn more about the progress that we're making. Hang in there with me. I know you have been doing your part, as have I, and we can absolutely get through this if we continue to pay attention to the restrictions and to do everything we can to reduce our water use. Now, let's talk about summer. I know that many of you are excited about the trips that you've got coming up. You're off to places like Drumheller or Jasper, or you might be going to Charlottetown or Tofino, and some of you are off to Europe, some of you are down to sunny California. In the same way that you're looking forward to some well-earned rest and relaxation, it's a time when people have chosen our city to visit for that very same type of holiday. It's a time to take in everything that Calgary has to offer, whether it's musical festivals or a theater performance to our beautiful outdoor spaces. Our city is a big draw, and our visitor economy relies heavily on guests who come here. We are easily recognized as one of the most visitor-friendly cities on the planet, and that's due in large part to the professionalism of the folks who work in our tourism industry. The 84,000 Calgarians whose livelihoods depend on guests coming to check out our city are actively preparing to welcome those people here and to keep driving the $3.2 billion that flow into our city from tourism every year. And they're preparing ways to limit their water use, as well as providing guidelines for the visitors that they know will be coming here. The Calgary Stampede is also doing its part, and as an organization with deep roots in agriculture, there's always been a commitment to water conservation based on farming and ranching experiences that are the foundation of Stampede. Leadership at Calgary Stampede has determined all the ways that non-potable or non-treated water can be used for things like keeping dust down on the track after the chuck wagons and also general cleaning. They are also working with the provincial government to identify other municipalities where they might be able to access potable or drinking water and have it trucked in for the livestock that will be there for Stampede and for the guests that are visiting. Now, while our festival and tourism partners are making backup plans, we at the city are doing everything possible to get us to the July 5th target date to get us back to normal flow of water. Now let me tell you how well all of you have continued to do when it comes to saving water. Yesterday, 454 million liters were used in our city and surrounding communities, which means you're now on a 5-day streak of making sure that we stay well below threshold. And that is such a great job that you have all done. Your everyday decisions, like turning off the taps while you're brushing your teeth or holding off on flushing the toilet, all of those things are making sure that firefighters and hospitals have access to emergency water supply if it's needed. I want to commend the Calgary Fire Department on the very rapid response, putting out a fire in Bo'ness yesterday. According to media reports, there was an early call to 911 and a very quick response from the Calgary Fire Department, and they were able to put it out by using about 600 liters of water. So you can see how important that our saving measures are to the Calgary Fire Department and the folks that were involved in that fire. So thank you again for everything you're doing. I also heard yesterday a little bit of downer news that there's some people that are harassing city workers when they are doing water-related work. This is not acceptable. City workers who are flushing water lines via hydrants are doing this to make sure that they're meeting regulatory standards for water quality, public health, and safety, and to maintain our water system. And I would say if you have questions about what someone is doing, please call 311 and log your concern. And at the same time, if you're like me and you think that our crews are doing a really good job in trying to get water restored, reach out to 311 and let them know how much you appreciate the work that's being done around the clock to get our water system back to normal. Now, the city is also doing its part to make sure we can carry on with construction at this time because we have much needed homes that need to be built. This week, we received permits from the province to pump water from the Bow River for construction purposes. This is peak building season, and we want to make sure that as many houses as possible can be constructed. And a reminder that we are still under stage 4 outdoor water restrictions, meaning that outdoor use is not yet permitted. So it means the slip and slide will have to take a rain check, and the sprinkler party is going to have a rethink. And if you're planning on having friends around the fire pit, please don't turn it on. You can still sit there, but there are no fires right now while we are under a fire ban. And if you're looking for something to do, I know that the businesses both in Montgomery and Bo'ness would greatly appreciate your patronage. And as you are making those plans, make sure you're also planning how you're going to get there because there are detours in place. And the weather looks like it's going to be pretty good, so if you can walk or bike there, that would also be great. Whatever your weekend plans are, I know that you're keeping water savings at top of mind. And I appreciate how committed you are to everything that you are doing and everything that you have already done. The changes to your showering, laundry, and dishwashing patterns, those are showing up in terms of decreased water usage. Keep up the great work, just as the crews in our city are doing great work as contractors and city workers to restore the system back to normal. We will have more information for you on the progress of the repair work today at the Emergency Operations Center at 2 p.m. Until then, please know how valued you all are for the work that you're doing in saving water, and look out for each other. Thank you.